Time for another boring old fat whiny woman, bon eating triple chin wearing bad hair at the doing video time. Face is a little red, trying to get over sinus issues. Anyway, thought I'd get on and make a video right past. This is actually in response to a response on another channel video. So, it kind of disturbed me a bit, I'm going to say that. So, I thought, wow, there are actually people that don't understand this. So decided to make a video on it. What am I talking about? Well, an individual had made a video talking about spiritual warfare. You can't have hate or anger or unforgiveness or sin in your life because it will bring this stuff in. True that, 100%. And I made a comment to that saying that it's true. We also need to be aware of the sins happening in our household as well, because that will cause things to come in as well. Guess what? You own it. Happens in your home, you own it. And somebody said that's not true at all. Now, I kind of understand if they're saying something like the sins of the father ain't visited on the sons and vice versa. Deuteronomy talks about that, about where the father cannot be put to death for the sins of the son. But that is a bit different. I do want to talk about this, talking about sin coming into your home. That's where we got an issue. That's where we got a problem. People, I'm going to tell you this. If that individual comment that comes over here, I mean no disrespect, and I'll probably get a little sarcastic, but please understand, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you in no way, shape, form, or fashion, but I'm trying to point this out, that people, as a parent or as a homeowner, you have a responsibility to keep your house in order. That is scriptural. You need to keep it in order. The problem comes when, with demons and so forth, the problem comes with sin, anger, rebellion, unforgiveness, all sorts of things will cause these demons to come into your home. I've said this before, and this isn't scriptural, this is experience, but you will have little dark things, little watchers, I call them. I don't know what else to call them, but it's hard for me to even see it. So most people have no idea they're in their home, but they're there. Trust me, they're there. There's I swear, some people think that once you become a Christian, yeah, all your demon issues are gone. No, sorry. That's when your battle first begins. That's why it talks about in Ephesians to keep on your whole armor of God. Not because your battle's over. It's just begun. Regardless, you will have these things in your home, and they'll sit there and they'll watch. You have no idea. They'll just sit there. And as soon as you allow sin, anger, hatred, you invite them in, you go in rebellion, you're doing rebellion and witchcraft, it will run off and it will come back with a more powerful demon. This is true for everyone in your household, not just the homeowner or the man of the house. If you have adult kids or kids living in your home and you are paying for everything, you're paying for rent, you're paying for electric, you're paying for water, you're paying for gas, you're paying for cable, you're paying for food, you're paying everything, then guess what? If your kid decides that they are going to sin in your home, you have just facilitated sin. Ain't that crazy? You provide that kid or family member or family friend even, who's going on hard times and you're letting them stay in the guest room for a couple weeks till he finds a new job or a home. It doesn't matter. You are facilitating sin if they sin. You're facilitating it. You're providing them with a place to stay, a warm place, food in their stomach, and all the amenities to sin. You're facilitating it. And you need to realize that. And also be aware, if it is in your house under your roof and someone decides to sin or conjure up demons. Let's say you let your best friend come in and he's into yoga and New Age spiritualism, drawing salt lines all over your floor and asking all this protection and whatnot. Guess what? When he opens up himself or facilitates demon activity in your home, demon don't care. His name is not on the lease. Demon's not going to be, oh, your name's not on the mortgage. I better stay outside and wait until you come out here. I'll get you outside. Demon don't care, people. They don't care. They're still going to come in. They're still, if they're invited and they come in, it's in. And it's in your home, and you need to take responsibility for it. You can't help but take responsibility for it. It's now your problem. It's your issue at that point. If you have an adult kid in your home who refuses to go to church, and your husband, for whatever reason, just hasn't kicked them out, and they facilitate sin and whatnot, guess what? Every sin that person does is now my issue. Why? Because it's in my house. My husband is the head of the household. I get these issues. If he decides to let that boy stay or let that kid stay, next thing you know, I own it by default. I'm married to him. It's becoming my issue. It becomes my issue. I have to deal with the demons that brings in. Now, I can anoint the entire house or whatnot up to his room, and that could help keep them away, but it doesn't matter. They're still in the home. And that sin is like a power bar to them. They love it. They will go and get more powerful demons and bring them in. They love it. They love it. They'll feed on that stuff. And it is your problem. It is your responsibility at that point. And you need to realize that. Saying that's not how it works, I really don't understand how anyone cannot see that is exactly how it works. It is your house. They don't care that you are not the one who's opening portals and inviting witchcraft in. They don't care. Demon don't care. If they're doing it, you are now responsible, and you own it. You own that problem now, because you facilitated sin. Are you paying everything for that individual to sin? Well, guess what? You're facilitating it. You can't be put to death for it. Yes. But you do have to keep your house in order. Does God care if you don't keep your house in order? You better believe he does. And if you go to 1 Timothy 3, you will see it. You cannot have your house in disarray and then be expected to be appointed to a position of leadership where you're over God's house. They won't allow it. It's forbidden. You have to keep your home in order. You have to demonstrate that you can before you can even be over God's house. Before you can be a deacon or an elder, your home has to be in order. And that's why, because you own it. You own it. Now, am I going to be punished for my stepson's sin? No. Scripture is clear about that. Before, if a parent ate sour grapes, and then the kid's teeth would cringe. I believe that's in Jeremiah, if I ain't mistaken, which I might be. But after that, if the kid ate sour grapes, then the kid's teeth will cringe. Each will be put to judgment according to their own sins. I will not be put to death because of my stepson or because of my stepdaughter. But keep in mind, your spiritual warfare doesn't work the same as your judgment. If they do things to facilitate stuff in your house, you own it. You better believe that. Now, do you own it in Lamb's Book of Life? Of course you don't own it there. But you own the consequences of what happened under your roof. If they're over here inviting all sorts of demons in, doing all sorts of witchcraft to get all this power and whatnot, you're going to own it in your house. And it will be your issue. And I really, like I said, I really do not understand how people cannot fathom that. It doesn't stop. They don't stop at the door. Oh, their teenage kids were summoning me. Can't do that. They're not of the age of accountability. They don't care. They'll come right in. They don't care what your friends. You even have to be careful of people you invite to your home and what they are doing. Let's say you invite somebody in and they're big into black magic and said some incantation before they walked in your door. You're responsible for what happens in your household. You do have to take responsibility for it. If you want those demons out, you do. You can't be, oh, yeah, demon, I'm sorry. I didn't conjure you. Buddy. So, yeah, you need to go deal with the person that conjured you. I ain't taking responsibility. Demon don't care. He'll torment everyone in that house. He don't care. And you need to be mindful of this stuff. There isn't a separation. If it's in your house, you're responsible. In 1 Timothy 3, you have to be, my husband has to be responsible for everything here before he can demonstrate he can be responsible over God's house. So it is important to God. It is important. So keep this stuff in mind, people. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm not trying to be a butt. But you do have to take responsibility. If you got an adult kid who's sneaking people in to have sex with in your house, even though you're not aware of it, you still have to take responsibility for the consequences. Maybe I should say that. You take responsibility for the consequences. But it doesn't really matter. It's your responsibility. You want them demons out, you take responsibility. And you have to deal with it. If you got people like that in your home that's having sex, change the lock to your door. Kick them out. Easier said than done, I know. But it becomes your issue when these demons get invited in by their actions. So please be aware of that. It is how it works. Because it's your home. And you have to demonstrate control over your home. You have to demonstrate control over your home. And their actions, it will bring it in. And like I said, demon don't care. Demon don't care if their name ain't on the lease or the mortgage or the rental agreement. Demon doesn't care. If it's your home, it's under your roof, you own it. If you want rid of it. Anyway, people, that's just something I want to put out. That yes, indeed, you need to be mindful of this stuff. Spiritual warfare is not a game. It is not something that is all willy-nilly. And there are more components to it than just you. It's your family and everyone who's in your home. Same way, people, we might make another video later expanding on this, but for right now, just be mindful of it. They don't care. If it's sin, if they're invited in, they don't care their name's on the lease. And you do have to take responsibility if you want this stuff out. Anyway, people, that's my little video. And as always, please read your scriptures. Please read the Bible in its entirety. And have that fantastic day.